Okay. So, who loves the fact that with LifeWave, you can duplicate your efforts, right? If you guys heard, even while she was in the hospital with Heidi, her income, I think it was doubled or tripled just because of the fact of how our system duplicates, right? And that's what I hope for everybody. So how can you ensure that your business will duplicate is this screen right here. Everyone take a picture. And this is, we're beating a dead horse right now, but again, that's how simple it is, right? I'm even going to share in detail my script with everybody, which shouldn't be the first time you've heard it, hopefully. And so this is the website we use for people that need data, that need the science, that need the details on the patch. I always send it to people, even if they're not that kind of person, just so that way they can be directed to the correct research. Does that make sense? Because be careful about Google, I'd say. All right, then when it comes to the business, who here has recently logged in the last 7 days to thisisitteam.com? And let's be honest. All right, something to look at for yourself, right? This is your business Bible. And if you prefer the old school method, hardbook paper, you can go on thisisitteam.com under shop and you can purchase this. They do have a deal where I think it's like 25 bucks per book if you buy two. Okay, so this, I like this because then it's just one page at a time. The website's great. They have a digital version, everything. There's video versions of it. However, it can be kind of like swimming in an ocean. What I like about this book is you just read a page at a time. So depending on what you prefer, maybe both. Change it up. Any questions on that before I move on? Okay, so I encourage you guys to start becoming familiar with our tools. Now, with the enhancements of the compensation plan, just to reiterate, and again, and this is at team.com under the downloads, you'll find the worksheets for this. But to go 1-star manager is just as simple as helping two of your loved ones. As an example, a close friend, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your dad, right? As you heard Javi in the training today, he called it laydowns. Who knows what a laydown is? So it's a sales term, meaning that it's going to be someone that trusts you already. It's a laydown sale, like it's an easy sale, like the low hanging fruit. Does that make sense? Meaning don't go for the complete stranger at church. Does that make sense? Go for the person that, they're your friend. They want to support you always, right? Your mom, your dad, they'll support you. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's how easy it is. You're two, one left and one right. And we recommend that they get the advanced package, because that's going to bring the necessary volume so that way you can promote. Okay. So we recommend that you are also on advanced or higher if you haven't already done so. If anyone needs help, I can stay on today and walk you through that. You can do it in your back office. And also it helps you get that extra inventory, but that's going to get you the volume, kind of like inject your volume. Now, have you guys ever heard that saying? It's really tough to influence someone to do something that you have not done yourself. Has anyone ever heard that before? Yeah, it's very true. Like parenting, for example. Imagine if a parent kept telling their kids every single day, clean your room. And the kid's like, but your room's a disaster. Like, why would I clean my room? And you obviously don't clean your room, right? Or when it comes to brushing your teeth or eating healthy or going to the gym, we always lead by example. And so that's why I always recommend, if you have the funds to do so, or if you have to do what I did, which was borrow the funds. I had to call my mom several times over the course of 2 days. Hey, mom, I really need to borrow some money so I can upgrade to the biggest package premium, right? This was before I knew whether I would succeed in this, but I just knew that I had to lead by example and that I could share that story going forward, right? So I invite you to do whatever it takes, if you have those resources, because it's going to help, because your team's going to copy what you do. They're literally going to ask you, well, which one did you get? And it's really tough to help people get the bigger packets if you say, oh, I just got core. Does that make sense? Now you can leverage if you upgraded, though, just like me. I started at core also. Okay, so the goal to hit 1-star manager ideally is when? In a year? In 5 years? When is it? Who can tell me? Who can come off mute? How
Two
much time?
days.
Within 2 days. Thank you, Larry and Nicolette. Yeah. within your first 48 hours. This is a 911 emergency, right? Not just for you, but for who? For the people that have believed in you. They're joining your team. Don't you want to take them with you? Don't leave them behind. Now, obviously, we can't drag people here. However, all we can do is encourage them and then lead by example, right? So you got to get to one-star manager, right? If you're not one-star manager today, let's make it happen before Monday, right? If you want it to happen, reach out to your mentor, reach out to the person you're working with, so that way you can get support, right? Don't be a secret agent about it. We don't know who wants our help unless you ask for it. Now, this unlocks an extra $25 a week during your first 9 weeks. Now I have to double check, is it 9 weeks going forward or is it just 9 weeks in the business? I know Angelique just jumped on, I think. I don't know if you know, Angelique, is it just your first 9 weeks from your enrollment date? Do you know how that works? Or from the 27th, let's say?
Yeah, no, it's your once you start from your enrollment day, you have 9 weeks.
So what if someone's already in the business, because I know that they're extending it to existing brand partners, some of these bonuses, or is that the other bonus? Do you know when you rank up?
Well, the brand partner is the rank up, and then that's once you're just a brand partner and you rank up to one-star manager, then you make $25 for 9 weeks until the end of I think it's February was the
Got it.
date.
Got it. So the bottom line is it's more money, right? Like regardless, let's show this information to people so that they can actually make that educated choice, right? Now, the next step after that, within how much time?
First week.
Your first week, let's get you to two-star manager, which is as simple as adding one more person on your left and your right. So for a total of 4 people, 2 left and 2 right, right? Now, does anyone have any questions on this?
Nope.
Let's to get to two-star manager.
And May, I don't know if you saw my comment, but I think even for me, my personal goal is to go two-star manager every week. Now, I can't go two-star manager every week, but I can put in 4 new people at advanced every single week.
Yeah, meaning do the work that would take you to two-star manager. Is
Yep.
that what you mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, during that volume. Now, who outside of Angelique can tell us why Angelique has made that decision? What's your guess based on what I said a little bit ago? Why would it be so important for Angelique to do that herself?
Get all
Leading
the
from the
bonuses.
front.
Oh, say it one more time.
Leading from the front.
Leading from the front. Who was that?
Amy.
Oh, that was Amy. Of course that was Amy. There you are, Amy. Yeah, leading from the front.
I
Because
haven't
again,
heard of that term before.
oh, that's a good one. That's a writer downer, right? Write that one down. Leading from the front, because again, and I'm not a parent yet. However, I've been, I've been a nanny growing up, and I can see like we cannot influence people with something we have not done, right? Like it literally doesn't compute, right? And so in order to encourage and hold space that the people you care about can rank up, who gets to do it first? The person in your seat. Okay. Now, can we agree that maybe there's going to be some weeks that she'll miss? Yeah, because she's human, right? But the point is just making the intention and then everything else will fall into place. Okay. Alrighty. Now, this actually unlocks an extra 50 instead of 25 once you're a two-star manager. Now, there's an amazing tool in the This Is It team. I went ahead and condensed it on a really simple form. Either of them work, right? But I wanted to kind of like make it simple for the slide. So you can take a picture of this. It's the same information with a 30-day money back guarantee with the wholesale package. I even included the savings versus retail. If you guys see premium, that saves the person basically $1,200, a little bit more. Advanced Plus, they're saving over 600, so on and so forth, right? So I wanted to throw that in there. So if you need that, let me know. I mean, you have
Love that. Great idea.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay. Now let me skip past that. Okay, so let's really quickly, I only, ideally want to wrap up here in the next 15 to 20 minutes, okay? But it's important that you guys are all in the Facebook group. Who here is in the Facebook group? Is everybody who is not in the Facebook group? Okay. So definitely take an opportunity, scan this QR code, add yourself. Why? Because There's going to be some important announcements there. I do my best to put everything in the WhatsApp, but sometimes the WhatsApp can get noisy and things get buried. So I really encourage that you make sure you're plugged into the Facebook group. And when you enroll people, make sure that you tell them to add themselves as well. Does that make sense? Don't have it stop at you, right? Make sure your team is getting plugged in, and then you teach your team to teach them that too, right? As they enroll people. Does that make sense? So make a commitment always to teach your team to teach. That's so important. That's a big characteristic of direct sales. Okay, so I haven't done this personally yet, but you can sign up on the team emails. They haven't launched them just yet, but you can scan that QR code. All right, now who wants to go to Hawaii? Type of me in the chat or come off mute and say me.
I do.
Me.
I do.
Me,
All right. So for those that I love it. So for those that couldn't make it on the other day, all we really did was we watched that video Andy Hoser did, and then we tried to fill out our trackers. Okay, so who has their tracker printed? I just had mine somewhere. Where did it go?
I do, but I don't have it with me.
Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna work on it right this second, but that's your
Okay.
homework. And if you're like, I don't know how to read this thing, get with the person you're working with or put it in the WhatsApp, because maybe we'll do another session of that, maybe Monday during our huddle. Remember, guys, we do our Monday huddle at 5 Pacific, 6 Arizona time, 7 Central. So bring your questions to the huddle, okay? So make sure you have a paper copy so you can actually start to fill it out. Now there is a video. Oh, wait, let me go back. What's the qualification? It started October 27th. It goes until February 22nd, guys. Write that down. We have like 4 months. Not to toot my horn, but I only had like 3 weeks to qualify for the Bahamas. And that was kind of stressful. You guys have 4 weeks. Don't wait till the last minute. In fact, let's do this your first 21 days during your fast start, right? As I said, you follow that 21-day fast start and it's going to qualify for you for this. Does that make sense? And then there's different tiers of qualifying for that. So for anyone that wants to watch it on your own again, I can share this video. Let me see if it lets me do it while I'm sharing. Copy. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat. If it makes sense, we might watch it again together on Monday for anyone that wants to. Okay, but otherwise, I'm not going to play it again today. Let's see. Alrighty. So did you guys know that the more people you help, the more income you naturally generate here in our company? Who knew that? All right. Some people are maybe needing a cup of coffee right now. Right? Right? Or it's time to tune back in, right? So I've asked you this several times. What's your monthly income goal in the next 90 days? It's not about the money. I know William's driving. If he weren't, I would ask him, what is it about? It's about making a difference for the people that you help get patches, but also for who? Your family. As you guys heard Olga and Javi's story, I don't think she mentioned it, but if I'm not mistaken, Olga's son is autistic, right? I don't have all the, do you know, Angelique, the details?
Yes. He's autistic. Her son is autistic. Yep.
Yeah, her son is autistic, and she is, she shared it once before, worried about his future, right? And so she wants to make sure that they have resources to be able to give him the best life possible in addition to the patches. Does that make sense? And so now she mentions how earlier on in direct sales, they never had any success. They'd done other MLMs and network marketing, direct sales, and they never had success. So she's grateful that her husband actually went behind her back and started building for 3 months. So he had something to prove to her. And I'm not saying to do that, but you know, sometimes that's an option. Okay. Right. That was kind of my case. Right. But showing is oftentimes what creates the believing. All right. How amazing. So yes, do we help people with their patches? Yes. Financially, there's a tremendous opportunity. I know some of us are a little bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to share that. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. But what if that would answer their prayer? right? There's a way in sharing it, which we can talk about on Monday. So make sure you guys come on Monday, and if you want to know different approaches, okay? And so not to spend too much time here, but again, what is your income goal monthly? You can map it out with how many attendees you have for our live events, the big one being in January. And so if you haven't gotten yourself registered, go to thisisitconvention.com. I've already gone and registered myself for Vegas, and it's not cheap. I'm not even gonna pretend it is. It's not cheap. And then of course, getting there is another thing and blah, blah, blah. However, what I started to realize is what would it cost me if I didn't go? Right? And the energy is something that we can't put a price on in that room, right? That's like, it's like an incubator, right? What's the senior SPD incubator? Every single person that walked on that stage, that's making the money, that has the tremendous influence and impact, was at that event, right? Because it's separation season. If that's you, if you're like, listen, I'm going to do whatever it takes, even though it doesn't financially make sense for me right now, I know it's an investment. I invite you to make it work, right? And they actually have a payment plan, I think, with Klarna. I don't know the specifics on that for Vegas. Now, looking ahead towards Orlando, August 7th and 9th, that one's also going to be an investment, because I believe how we are registering is RSVPing for the room. So you're actually paying for the room, like your hotel room. Does that make sense? So it's probably something you want to cost share with your guests and or team. Okay. But that's your homework tonight. Tomorrow, this is a 911 emergency, as well as ranking up to 1-star, 2-star manager, because everything happens at the events. Go ahead, Angelique. You raise your hand, I think. You're on mute, though. We can't hear you.
I'm giving directions and wanting to say something at the same time.
All right, go ahead.
And the way that I think for us to look at it, and that's the way that I operate. So I just want to give this advice. If it's $645 to go to the event and all in Las Vegas, enroll to premium. Get 2 people to sign up at premium. That's $810. So you're going to cover your ticket to get there, and then you're going to have some money to spend on airfare. So that's one way, is like to set goals. How many people at Advanced Plus, how many people at Premium is going to allow me to get to this event? If you start putting that out visually, you're going to be able to accomplish that goal and then also afford to go to that trip.
Right, exactly. Right, did everyone get that? So you can reverse engineer your goals, right? Premium would be easy because that's a pretty significant commission. If it has to be advanced or core, you can mix and match it, right? So I put the pricing here. I noticed when I enrolled, it was right after coming back from Anaheim, and the price had jumped up for me a little bit. So I don't know if it's gone down or what, but guys, $649, it might jump up again. I paid 700 something. Okay. So make sure you don't dilly dally, because there is literally only 500 seats in the room. They've probably got less than 100 left. And you heard Joe Navarro, if you remember hearing him speak on stage, that man is a visionary. He is going to fill the room. So you want to make sure that you hold real estate in that room, meaning that you have a spot in that room, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so I won't spend a ton of time here, but these are the cash bonuses when you rank up that you can earn, right? So shout out to Amy. She should be earning this 500 cash bonus for hitting 1-star director. They split it into 2, it looks like. 1-star executive, it's 5,000. 1-star presidential, $50,000, guys. 2-star presidential, 75,000. 3-star presidential, 100 grand. You guys seeing this stuff? I've never, ever, ever seen cash bonuses like that in positions that people are hitting, like everyday people like you and me. Does that make sense? Like, you don't have to be some crazy salesperson rock star to make it happen. Just lead with your heart and making a difference and helping people. Remember that you're answering prayers. Do people want to be able to provide for their families right now? Yes or no? Do people want better health, to get out of pain? to get out of
Absolutely.
debt? Yes. Does our opportunity provide that? Yes. Right? Does it mean you're going to come upon people that are naysayers? Oh, that's one of those MLM things. That's a pyramid scheme. Oh, those patches don't work. I tried them. Yeah, you just sort past them, right? You're looking for the people that are looking for you. Now, sometimes they don't know they're looking for you. Maybe not right away, right? So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay. You heard this on the training today, the 2020 vision, right? So if you want to go fast, then what that means is 20 personally sponsored left, 20 personally sponsored right. Creates that injection of momentum in your business. Okay. If that's too much of a stretch, then just focus on the baby steps. But long-term goal, whether that takes you a year, 6 months, whatever, is 20 left, 20 right. Does that make sense? To have a really solid business. Okay, mentor matching bonuses, weekly events. You guys know about our schedule. I invite you to challenge yourself every single day. If you know who Eric Worre is, he's one of the best network marketing coaches in the industry. He coined this expression a number of years ago. As far as I know, I don't know who the original person is, but to work network marketing in the cracks of your schedule, just 2 exposures a day. Who knows what an exposure is? Okay, who can explain? What's an exposure for those that might not know the term?
Just talking to two people and show them what you got.
Yeah, you're exposing them to what you got, right? Now, for me, how I determine what's an exposure, well, did they come on a Zoom presentation? That's an example. Or did I send them a video? That's another example. My goal is that I have 2 exposures at minimum every single day. Now, will I talk to more people than that? Yes, but not everyone's going to be interested or ready to watch a video or come to a Zoom. So you're peaking them, let's say they're in the hopper, right? But the end goal is, okay, I want to have at least sent the video to 2 people a day, right? And then Angelique and I are going to film a new video, so that way you guys can share it with your prospects. And our goal is to keep it under 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, because I've been using someone else's video, which is fine, but I'd rather keep it close to home in our team. Does that make sense? Okay. What's the script? We're going to wrap it up right here unless you guys have questions. If you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to a Google Doc version of this script. It's in 2 parts. This is the first page and you see the second page. The Google Doc, I changed the formatting so it should come off to 1 sheet that you can print out on a 1-pager. This is my personal approach. You can tweak it if you'd like, but the bones of the script are the same. It's the same thing that Steve Merritt says. It's the same thing that Joe Navarro says, Gina Merritt. It's just you add your own flavor and personality. Okay. Now, I was listening to the Q&A. Terry Miller, a great leader in the industry, she had shared that rather than call someone out of the blue, she likes to text them saying, hey, I want to give you a quick call. And I do like that approach because then I can cast that out to a lot of people. And then from there, sort to who I can actually talk to on the phone. But you always want to talk to them on the phone. You don't do this over a text. Does that make sense before I continue with this? Okay. So make sure you scan that. You can print out your own copy if you'd like. And so I personally like to text them, let's say I'm inviting Larry. So I text Larry, hey, Larry, I have something so exciting to share. Can I give you a quick call? That is what I say to a T. Now, maybe sometimes I'll say, hey, can I give you a quick call this afternoon? Can I give you a quick call tomorrow? Like if I need to change that up, let's say. Like in the morning while I'm at work and I sent out a couple of texts, I can't call them right now, but I'm planting the seed to talk to them later. And then I wait for them to respond. I might do that on Facebook Messenger, right? Or wherever you message people. And then when you get on the phone, very simple, you want to keep this short and sweet. I would say like 5 to 7 minutes total conversation, ideally. Okay. Now let's say I call up Larry and I say, hey, Larry, thanks for taking my call. I'm so excited. Now here's the important thing, guys. What if I said, hey, Larry, thanks for taking my call. I'm so excited. He'd be like, what the heck? You're reading something. Like, make this you. Like, in your head, I just won the freaking lottery. I'm going to change this person's life. If you got to do a couple of jumping jacks, run around the block, push-ups, get the energy and the blood moving before you dare make these calls, okay?
Don't be a Ben Stein.
What's that, Tyler?
Don't be a Ben Stein.
Oh, what's a Ben Stein? Oh wait, oh from that
Ben
guy.
Stein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bueller. Bueller.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bueller.
I'm like, what's a Ben Stein? All right. So that's right, you got the movie references. So the bottom line is, right, you got to be excited. Everyone write this down. Emotion drives what? Motion. It's literally in the word emotion. There has to be movement. There has to be energy. There has to be pizzazz, right? Energy attracts. So what kind of business do you want? An excited, enthusiastic, and fun business, or a painful business that doesn't go anywhere, right? So it starts with your own energy. Even when you don't feel like it. I do just some jumping jacks. I jump around. If you know my 3 I'm excited, I've taught a couple people before. I always do that to, like, even if I'm nervous, okay, like, let me just, get excited. Okay. Now, my next favorite part is to let them know, hey, listen, I'm calling you for a specific reason. Like I said, I'm super excited. Do you still have a couple minutes? Right? So you don't get into all the small talk stuff. Just like get to the point. Otherwise, you'll be on the call for 30 minutes and then you'll find out that they're not even interested in looking at a video. And you're like, oh gosh, I just spent all that time, right? So you want to sort quickly, but respectfully. And then the second piece is build curiosity. So my favorite thing to ask, because you can ask this to any type of prospect, whether they're entrepreneurial, a medical professional, or know nothing about anything, right? So I would just ask them, what do you know about stem cells? And stop talking. Allow them to answer. That's so important, okay? And then from there, I again be excited. Hey, listen, I came across something incredible, the X39 stem cell patch. Everyone's wearing them. Have you heard of it? And because then they're like, well, X39 patch. Very few times have I had anyone say they've heard of it. Now, what happens if they have heard of it? Continue, because they didn't hear from it from you or hear about it from you, right? So continue. Okay, it's seriously changing people's lives right now. And then share a testimonial if you have your own. That's powerful, because then you're just sharing your story. Listen, I don't know if you heard, but a number of months ago, I had a health scare. So that was my wake up call. And, within 3 days, this happened. Within a week, this happened. Now, keep it short and sweet. Don't like spend 5 minutes talking about a testimony and then you put them to sleep, right? But let's say, 20 to 30 seconds maximum. If you don't have a testimony, then you can borrow someone else's testimony. Or maybe you know that they're dealing with ADHD, or their child is autistic, or their parent has Alzheimer's, and you can share a testimony that you feel would resonate with them. Does that make sense? Any questions on this? And hey, if I set you some information, would you take a look? This is so important. Do not just blindly send the video to people. And I know Larry and I talked about this the other day, right? Like, I wouldn't, if it were me, I wouldn't personally post a video on Facebook, because then you don't know who's watching it. And then how can you follow up? Or then maybe they Google it and they buy from somebody else, right? And so my recommendation is, whenever you're going to send a video, is to get their commitment. If I invited you to a Zoom, would you come? If I invited you to my party this weekend, would you make the time, right? Like, would you? That's a perfect setup to get their commitment. And if they say no, then respect it. Hey, no problem. If anything changes, let me know. I'm not going to waste any more time, right? Hey, if anything changes, you let me know. Now, you can throw in, would it be okay if I kept you up to date on how things go with me? Now you're kind of seeing, like, are they open to staying in touch for the future? If they say no to that, okay, no problem. I wish you all the best. I've got to take my next call. Let's catch up another time. And that's it, right? Is everyone clear on what I just said there? Anyone want clarification or want to hear that again? Nope. Okay. And then lastly, you are confirming. Great. I'm going to send it over. What do I send? The thisisit.info.com, maybe a testimony, right? But less is more. So thisisit.info.com and a video. And so we're going to, Angelique and I are going to film a video, but for now I've been sharing the 12-minute doctor video. But again, I prefer to do our own, that's with our team. Okay. So once we have that available, I'm going to update this script and it'll have it there. Okay. Now, if you know that they're looking for opportunity, you know they're a high producing real estate agent, or they've been in a similar industry before, or they've just got that kind of like go-getter vibe, like they're a hustler, then do not omit the second piece right here. Listen, lives are changing, right? And I like how I had ChatGPT jazzes up for me, and so are bank accounts, right? You can put that in there if you like. Listen, lives are changing, and I know you're a go-getter. This company went from $20 million to 600 million in 3 years. Listen to how I'm saying it. I'm not just like the company went, I'm not saying it too fast. Like, you've got to like kind of emphasize that in 3 years. And you know what? For me, I see a way to retire my parents. I see a way to get out of debt. I see a way to not have to work so hard anymore. Whatever your vision is personally. Any questions on that? Literally, you could have like 5 of these conversations a day and surpass the 2 exposures a day. Like that's 5 exposures. It's because like everyone you talk to, they say, yes, I'll take a look. Then that's an exposure. You send them a video. Now, the most important part is the follow-up call. And I would, before you hang up, hey, when can you make the time to watch that 12-minute video? Oh, like this afternoon. Okay, great. So let's touch base later today. All right. Or how about tomorrow? Like, set up that follow-up call. Right. I really want to hear your feedback, even if it's not for you, even if it doesn't resonate, your feedback is super important to me. Okay. And so then you can go into like, hey, what did you like best, or what resonated with you from the video? Because maybe they'll talk about the opportunity, maybe they'll talk about the patches, or maybe they'll talk about a testimony. Listen, we're doing a live Zoom today at this time or this time. I'd love for you to come on and actually hear the live testimonies. This is a game changer. Can you join us tonight? And hey, if you don't like what you hear, you can hang up, right? But so like this is what's been working for me, is I want to get them a video, I want to get them information on the front end, and then do my best to get them on a Zoom. Now, if they're ready to purchase, enroll them. They don't have to come to a Zoom to purchase or get started. That's just if you feel like they need a little bit more interaction. Any questions, guys?
Nope.
Cool. Did that help somebody today? Hopefully.
You
Yes.
did.
Woo!
Great.
Absolutely.
Great, guys. Like, literally, I have a day job. I don't have a lot of time, right? You guys probably too, or you have other things you're doing. I'm on a quick lunch break. Okay, go on Facebook, someone's birthday. Hey, happy birthday. I message them on Facebook. Hey, happy birthday. How are you doing? Listen, I've got something so exciting. Can I give you a quick call? Boom, get them on a call. Da 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 da. Hey, I don't know if you've been seeing my Facebook or whatever it is. Just follow the script, right? Like, it's so easy to expose people when you utilize that, right? If you just go on Facebook, or hey, I saw you posted this cool thing. You're never going to believe it. When can I give you a quick call? Okay. Now, also, you can even utilize our AI tools, which I haven't dove into myself because I usually use ChatGPT and I kind of like my system already. But if you don't have anything and you want to take a peek, now here's the most important thing. Do not allow this to distract you. Don't spend 5 hours on this and be like, okay, I worked LifeWave today. Like, if you didn't make 3 or 5 calls, whatever your goal is every day for the PRO, right? If you didn't make that, then you didn't work the business today. So what I would do to prioritize, so whatever put it in the chat. What's your exposure goal? Is it 2 people a day, 3 people, 5 people? I personally want to do more than 5 if you have another job or other commitments. But if you're like, I'm retired and I got nothing to do, then maybe you do 10. I don't know, right? All right, let's see. What do people put? Okay, Lori says 5 exposures a day.
I'm gonna
Right?
do 2.
What's that? Tyler says 2.
2.
Great. Okay. Yeah, so get clear on what your goal is. And there's a couple ways that I gamify this. You guys know about my bracelets, or if you're a guy and you have pockets, or even a woman that has pockets, you can have, 5 pennies or 2 pennies in one pocket. Your goal is, no matter what, by the end of the day, you've moved those 2 pennies over to your other pocket. Because every time you expose somebody, you've sent them a video or they've come on a Zoom, you move that penny over. That's how I would play a game with yourself. And that's how you can do this in the cracks of your schedule. So whatever your goal is, 2, 3, 4, 5, like no matter what, that's you have worked the business. If you went on, social media and made a post, that's just fluff. That's not doing the business. Right? It's a mixture of gardening, right? And a mixture of hunting. Does that make sense? You got to do that. You got to eat today, but also you want to eat tomorrow, right? Hopefully that helps a little bit. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Did I answer any
Thanks, Meg.
questions? Yeah, for sure. And so I recorded this because maybe you want to revisit this and I want to use it as a training tool. So let me pause this right here.